I'll help you here a little bit. The Solidarity movement in Poland. Um, the Soviets are ruling these Eastern Bloc countries, the Warsaw Pact countries, with an iron fist. And you have a trade union, what starts out as a trade union in Poland called Solidarity. It was at a shipyard, and they start talking. They want better conditions. They want to get paid what they're worth. Under communism, that doesn't happen. Everybody roughly makes the same. There's no incentive to work harder, more, or better, or a better job. So they start complaining, and it gets louder. It becomes a trade movement. And it became so destabilizing to the to the Polish puppet government at the time, which was backed by the Soviet Union, that they start talking about rolling tanks into Poland. The United States, we get involved in that, kind of underneath the table, covert. You know, we know the Soviets are massing tanks on the Polish border, and our response to that was, the United States response was, you do that, we're sending tanks. You do that, we're going to send airplanes. Maybe not a correct response, but we wanted them to back down, which is what happened. That caused these forces down here, these missileers, to go to a higher state of readiness. All right. Now I'm going to open it up to the schools here, and since we've got 3 schools, I'm going to go back to Strasbourg, and we're going to go in reverse alphabetical order. Strasbourg, you got any questions?
Anybody? Questions? No, we're good. I guess not.
Any questions about maybe the park, or where we're at, or the park service, or what we do, or anything like that?
No. What's your job title, though? Like,
I'm a park ranger, and I've been here about 6 weeks. And prior to coming here, I've been in the Park Service for a while. I was at an outdoor park in Kentucky, in southeast Kentucky. I was a actual park ranger, camping, hiking, rescuing, that kind of stuff. And I'm originally from Colorado, and I moved out here about 6 weeks ago. Wanted to be west again. So, okay, Strasbourg, we're good with that. Let's go to Medicine Valley. Let's go back to Medicine Valley. Any questions on the Cold War? Any questions on the Launch Control Center, on the missiles, anything?
When you turn the launch keys, did it launch one missile or did it launch all 10?
That is a great question. Let me go down here. Okay. Raise your hand. Where'd that question come from? Oh, very good. Very good. Let me tell you what you're looking at here. Now, you won't know this, but your teachers might. Back in the early 60s, computer technology was on drums, magnetic drums. And the missiles actually had to be, the guidance systems actually had to be programmed at the missile. Later on, as technology advanced or evolved, they could program these missiles. Those messages that would come down, those emergency war order messages, one of the jobs here of the deputy commander would be to slide right down here, change targeting. Change the targeting package, it could be changed right here. So, but that's a great question. Any other questions there, Medicine Valley?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Let's go back to Chilhowie now. And you guys are right close there to, very close to Whiteman. Any questions about these, about the Minuteman or the Launch Control Center or the missiles or anything like that?
We have one. Actually, we have 2, and all left as students ask those.
A question.
Very good.
Russia fought so long, to defeat Germany, and how did they suddenly just change? Just like they just gave up when they gave up Poland and everything. That was so quick. After fighting so long, doing World War II and everything, and that they weren't didn't have the fire to fight. Where did that came from? How did their attitude suddenly change so much?
Well, the Soviet Union, after losing millions of people in World War II, they wanted to set up, they said, never again. This is not going to happen again. We're not going through this. And, I mean, as horrific as this sounds, but the truth was many of those people died of starvation. And, which is horrible to think of it, but they wanted a buffer zone set up between the Soviet, the Russian heartland, and Western Europe. And to be honest with you, specifically Germany. And that's what they established there with those Eastern Bloc countries, was a buffer zone. And it got down to why they gave it up so easily is that gentleman, Mikhail Gorbachev. Countries, politically and economically, ebbs and flows, they change. We're in a recession right now in the United States. A lot of the world is in a recession. In the 1970s, the United States, we're on a decline. We've got a lot of changes in government. The end of the Nixon era. Gerald Ford comes in for a short-term presidency, and then President Jimmy Carter. And our economy is on the downward slide. The Soviet economy's going up at that same time. They're building weapons to threaten the U.S. with and our allies. Our fortunes change in 1980. Change of government, new president. He saw what was going on. He ran on a platform that I'm going to change this. I'm going to end communism. That wall is coming down. So we go into an arms race. Soviet economy goes down. It's going down. Your old guard of the Soviet Politburo, their politics, Brezhnev, Andropov, you don't have to remember these names. Another gentleman, his name I think is Chernikov. The last two, they were so old